Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be going over an update to the Lair of Darkness, Azamina, Sinful Spoils, the slop stuff. This deck's gotten a little bit better. There's definitely some cool new things that have come out in the last month or two since the last video, and it's definitely been more fun. It's been stronger, more interesting to play. So yeah, let's jump into it. I'm gonna give a brief summary of the previous cards, because if you've seen the other video then you already know what's going on, but if you haven't, then I'll try and catch you guys up a little bit. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that really helps me out. So we have 3 of our Lilith. This quick effect tribute a dark monster, and reveal 3 normal traps. Randomly choose one, set it to the field. You can't activate it that turn. This is an older card. I feel like if this came out today, you would be able to set it that turn, but unfortunately you can't. It's also 2000 attack, but when it's normal summon, it becomes 1000, which is pretty damn important. Which means if you want to be able to use deck dev on it, you have to set it, because setting it's still 2000. Or if it gets impermed or something like that, it goes back up to 2000, which is cool. And the main thing about this is that since you have to reveal 3, if you run 3 of a trap, you basically can search for that trap. So you can grab Metaverse if you need the field spell. You can grab Eradicator because that's the best virus. And you can swap between Full Force and Deck Dev. Once you resolve the Eradicator, the Full Force and the Deck Dev are kind of just cleanup for whatever else they have going on. And then we have our other traps, the Sinful Spoils, Azamina stuff. But that's you more often than not aren't gonna bother with those. It's mainly the viruses. The priority goes Metaverse, because you need the field spell. If you don't have it, you go Metaverse. If you do have it, you go Eradicator. And if you do have that, then you just get one of the random Full Force or Deck Dev, whichever you feel like. It's usually blind, so it's you just kind of just vibe it out. Usually Deck Dev. Next we have Alice, Lady of Lament. On normal summon, she can summon back Lilith back from the grave, which is cool, but you don't really use her for that. She can banish a trap from the hand or grave to summon herself out. Once again, cool, but we don't use her for that. She's the reverse stats of Lilith, which means she can be used for Full Force virus. But more importantly, if she herself is tributed, you can add a fiend whose total attack and defense equal 2000, which means she can search for Lilith. And she doesn't have to be tributed from the field. She can be tributed from the hand. So if you open Deception and her, you can Deception tribute Alice, add Lilith. Add your Sinful Azamina card, and then new chain Alice, add Lilith to get the best possible combo going, which is a super strong 2-card combo. And there's other ways to tribute her. You can normal summon her, and we have other things that contribute her from the field. So like I said, the Full Force and all that. So she's a in the pure builds, I don't really run her, but because Deception contributor from the hand, she's really strong. Really good. 3 Arima, you can discard him from the hand, search for a Lair of Darkness, and on the field, he can tribute himself to draw a card, or if you tribute another dark monster, you can add a dark monster with 2000 or more defense, meaning you can add Magnamut, which is the coolest add ever. You can add Diabellstar, which is really good for this, because we obviously need Diabellstar to get the whole Azamina engine Sinful Spoil stuff going. Or you can search for Diabolos, but you wouldn't really search for Diabolos because you can just add Diabolos off the Magnamut. Magnamut's another body on the field, whatnot. But yeah, we have 3 targets, and they're all really cool, really good. And and he's he's really cool because he's not once per turn on his discard. So he can bait out. I you open 2 of them and they ash the first one. You just activate it again. It's really lit. Magnamut, free easy summon, great stats for the viruses. Searches for Diabolos, so he helps you go plus. He's a hand trap essentially. It's just all around just really good when you have such a good dragon you want to see, Diabolos. Magnemite just puts in so much work. Next we have Diabellstar. We have a lot of cool sends for Diabellstar. We have the Diabolos. We have some of these Sinful Spoils and Azamina traps, which I mean, like, you know, in the regular deck you would have. That's mainly it. But sending Diabolos is like, it's like super free. It's like, it feels like it just doesn't matter. Like you're gonna get him back. You're gonna get him back. He's gonna loop a card. It's like really good. Obviously these are really good too, especially Silvera. A lot of people don't even know Silvera. Graveyard effect: when your opponent activates something in response to your Diabellstar monster or Sinful Spoil spell trap, you can banish this from the grave and negate that effect. So if they try to imperm Diabellstar, you can banish this and then negate that for free. Or if they try to Ash Deception or Ogre it, you banish Silvera and negate it. It's really good. It's really strong. Yeah, those two are really the best sends. Sometimes you open up multiple Deception, but you don't mind sending an extra Deception, because as long as it was face up, you can just shuffle one back with Wanted, and then like you just get it back for free. And getting the Deception back in this deck is really strong, because on the follow-up we have more than one target. We have the Trap Azamina card. So on the follow-up, if you have Lair up, you can Deception tribute your opponent's monster and then add Azamina Determination, which is pretty neat, pretty good. So yeah, Diabellstar, even though sending one feels a little neg, we have enough cool targets to where we get value out of them because they recur, they do other things. So really good. And obviously she gets the whole engine going. 3 Diabolos. This is the main boss monster of the deck. He's good for all 3 of the viruses. Oh yeah, Magnemite, Diabellstar, and Diabolos are good for all 3 of the viruses. But he comes with some protection. He can't be targeted, can't be tributed by your opponent can't do that, but you can. And he can tribute a dark monster. Your opponent takes a card from their hand it puts it on the top or bottom of the deck. Pretty damn good. And then if a dark monster you control is tributed, you can summon him from the hand or grave. So he comes back every turn. Comes flying to the field every turn. Just really simple, really strong guy. And one of the new cards we have, Metamorphosis. We don't have a lot of crazy targets for Metamorphosis. But we can tribute Arima, and we can summon Mud Dragon, which is pretty cool because with Lair on the field, everything becomes dark. And then Mud Dragon just protects all of our monsters from targeting because everything is dark. So that's like cool in like certain matchups. We can tribute Magnemite to summon our Azamina fusions and Garura. Though we don't get a crazy amount of value from that. Maybe if they get destroyed, yeah. Or if you just want to tribute him for other things to go on, it's pretty cool. Tributing him for Garura. Like end phase searching for Diabolos and then having this guy for like full force virus or something, and then drawing off of him to stay up on value or card advantage. It's pretty cool. But the main cool thing is that you can tribute Diabolos for any of our 8 fusions, and we have quite a few. We have Dark Magician of Destruction, we have Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, we have Dragostapelia, and we have Starving Venom. But Starving Venom's not that good. You wouldn't want to, unless you're copying an effect, you wouldn't really want to summon Starving Venom. But the other 3 are really good, especially Dragoon, because if you summon Dragoon by tributing Diabolos off the Metamorphosis, then you don't have to worry about Gaze banishing it. It's just, you just have Dragoon now, and you just have him forever unless they out him. So you get to bypass all that. You get to tribute something, which is cool. So if you have Lair up on the field, if your opponent has level 8s, 6s, or 4s, 4s and 6s probably not likely, but if they have level 8s on the field, you can tribute their level 8, their Blue Eyes White Dragon, and you can summon Dragoon. It's pretty neat. It's pretty fun. It's really cool. I don't think it's all that great. Sometimes I just open Metamorphosis and I just discard it for like Super Poly or Diabellstar. But sometimes it comes in clutch. Sometimes Summoning Mud Dragon sometimes is just like the more I play Mud Dragon, like the more I make Mud Dragon, the more I'm like, yo, this guy is absolutely insane. He is annoying though, because when you have Lair on the field, he already becomes a dark, but you always get procced to change his effect or change his attribute. But Mud Dragon's like really good in like so many random matchups that just making things that can't be targeted, just having your whole board of monsters not be able to be targeted is just it's tough as hell, man. Next we have Hallowed Azamina for our it's our simple spells Azamina stuff, our fusion spell to say. We have our field spell, soft once per turn, lets us tribute our opponent's monster as long as they meet the conditions for our tribute for cost effects. So Lilith, quick effect, contribute any monster, which is like one of the most important ones, but the viruses, as long as they summon something. The reason why I don't like full force as much is because like a lot of decks, they link summon eventually, and then they just link summon something, and it's like you just have full force, and it's like you're just staring down a link monster, and it doesn't mean anything. Lair of Darkness also has a floodgate effect to it. All face-up monsters in the field become dark. So when they drop that Lurie in the graveyard and it comes out to the field, it's gonna stay there because it can't do anything about that Lair of Darkness. It's a dark fiend now. It's basically an arch fiend. It's no longer a light fiend. So yeah, this card really cool. And during the end phase, mandatory, summon a token to the turn player's field up to the number of attributed monsters this turn. This can get a little crazy, but as long as you're able to manage the token generation, if your opponent gets like 1 or 2, it's not that bad as long as you can attack over them and whatnot, or tribute them, or virus them away, then you're kind of chilling. Sometimes you can end up in game states where you both have like 3-4 tokens, and because they have a deck that tributes, and it's just like you're both clogged on space, and it can get weird. It can certainly get weird, but that's against like some hyper specific like decks that tribute, so you don't even have to worry about that. Deception, we already went over. This the most important thing is this adds an Azamina card. It can tribute from the hand or field, hand or field, and it can come back from the grave, which is really cool. Super Poly, which is we basically play no hand traps. Like Magnemite and Diabolos are technically in a way hand traps. Well, Diabolos not really. It's just like kind of comes out. It doesn't really do anything, but it applies some kind of pressure because he's just a problem. The only hand trap we technically have, disruption we have, is Magnemite, and he just searches. I mean, he technically goes kind of plus like 2, plus 3 if you really think about it. But yeah, he's essentially all we have. But we have the Super Poly, which unfortunately is getting hit soon to 2, which is unfortunate for this deck because it's going to be much harder to play through boards, because this card, and them not being able to respond is what makes this deck kind of viable. Is that like if you go second, you can just Super Poly a board away. So losing this card is going to be rough. I'm not even sure what to replace it with. There's nothing quite like Super Poly, but I'm sure we'll survive. I'm sure we'll keep going. We have one. Oh, I should say one of the targets we have to run for Super Poly is First of the Dragons, because it takes normal monsters, meaning the tokens. So sometimes you just have to Super Poly the tokens away, which is pretty neat because it's just such a goofy thing to do. But First of the Dragons is probably attacked for game more often than like most of these monsters on the field. First of the Dragons and the tokens have probably attacked for game more than most of these monsters, except for maybe like Diabolos. But like, yeah, First of the Dragons like puts in a lot of work on the low. We have Wanted. It's part of our combo, technically a starter as well for Diabellstar. And we have Gaze of Timaeus. We have the Dragoon engine, the Gaze of Timaeus, the Dark Magician of Destruction, the Dragoon itself. Basically, you can just banish Diabellstar, summon Dark Magician of Destruction, and you can search for Gaze of the Timaeus, which shuffles Dark Magician of Destruction from the field or grave back into the extra deck, and then you summon out Dragoon. Counts as a fusion summon. What's cool about Dark Magician of Destruction is that he also fits the all the viruses. So he's really cool. Sometimes you just end on him and then set the gaze, and then you can just fuse him away. And I mean, not fuse him away. You can tribute him for one of these random cards, and then you can fuse him away afterwards. So I really like that about him. I know like him and Diabellstar are basically like the same thing, because you're just getting rid of Diabellstar, who also fits the condition. But so sometimes they just don't see, like, sometimes they have like Fua or something, and they go, all right, I'm gonna change Fua to the. I didn't mean to do that. Sometimes they're like, I'm gonna change Fua to the Hallowed Azamina or something, and then you just drop like the Dark Magician of Destruction. You search for Gaze, and they Fua right away, or they Fua on the activation of this, and it's like, all right, well now I'm not gonna give you any more summons, so you don't get any draw, so you're down to resources, and now my virus is gonna hurt more because you have less cards to even play with. So the more I hit, the less you have in general. So that's pretty neat. So yeah, he just gives you like a, or if they just drop the Fool right away, you can just give him one draw, and then save it for next turn. So it gives you some extra ideas on what you want to do, some extra play. It gives you like a stronger end board, because you're already doing all this stuff anyways. Like you're not adding like an insane amount of stuff. You're just like your combo stays the exact same. You're just like changing the Diabellstar for this guy, and that's it. So everything else is the same. And sometimes I summon the Dragoon, I don't even have a card in hand. Like, he has no negates. They're just getting virused, and they have like so many like dumb cards to deal with. They're getting hit with a virus. I have mad follow-up, and I have a Ilya Sylvia, and I have a Dragoon with no negate, and they have like 2 cards in hand, and it's like, well, I looked at your hand, I know you're playing Doomseed Digital Bugs, so I know you can't out this Dragoon easily. I didn't mean to do that again. I know you can't out this Dragoon easily, so it's kind of cooked for you, boyo. So yeah, I really like this package. I also really like Dragoon. He's won me many games in Red Eyes and Red Eyes builds. So it was really fun to play him again, even though he wasn't doing actually any Dragoon stuff. He wasn't destroying and burning. He wasn't gaining a ton of attack points and being hard to out. He just pulled up for the aura sometimes. Sometimes I would just tribute him off for a virus. I'd be like, you know what? I want to keep everything else. I don't have anything in hand, so bye Dragoon. So yeah, he's really there for more so the presence than anything else. Like, you could like if you open up 2 viruses, you can keep one in hand, so you can discard it for Dragoon. But there's a lot of value in virusing your opponent twice, even if it's the same virus, as long as you do it at a later point when they're searching stuff, and it gets even more complex for them. But to each his own. That's just what Dragoon has done for me. Deck dev, if they're top decking hand traps, a good majority of hand traps and starters get destroyed by deck dev, and if they don't, they get destroyed by full force. So sometimes you just flip a coin in your head. Usually I'd say deck dev over full force, because deck dev is going to hit a bunch of hand traps anyway. So like, if they top deck an Ash for a turn, you can hit their Ash and maybe a starter or 2 or something, and then on your turn, then they can't really like disrupt you. Full force on the other hand, like, it can hit stuff like Nibiru and like other starters. Like, some starters have like low attack, high defense. Some starters have high attack, low defense, because they're like levels 1 to 4. So I just keep doing that. So yeah, I'd say deck dev and then full force, but above both of them is definitely Eradicator. Hitting spells is way too powerful. You can hit board breakers, you can hit anything before they even come out. They can draw the heavy storm, they can draw the harpies, they can draw the lightning storm, they can draw anything they want. It doesn't matter. You're gonna Eradicator them in the draw phase, and they're gonna go, shit, like, there goes half my hand. Metaverse already went over. And then I just run 2 Sinful Spoil traps, because if we already opened the Deception It's not really a real point to get the second deception, or if we already opened the wanted, we can just search for one of these, because they can Morian can bring itself back, so you can get a book for free and just use it later. Silvera can negate things, as I said before, so these are cool to have. And this is a super sleeper card. I absolutely love Azamina Determination. It sucks that I can't really search it out reliably, but maybe if I added some more stuff, I'd be able to search it out more. But this card, I love this card. So you basically shuffle back a Sinful Spoils from your grave or banishment. So you banish Wanted to draw one. You banish Wanted, shuffle back Deception, draw one. So you can see your deck into your deck a little bit more. And then you can reveal, same thing as Hollowed. You reveal from your extra deck, round down to the nearest 4, and then shuffle one back. So you shuffle back the Wanted, and then you summon this guy, Azamina's Soul, Erisinthoth. This guy on Fusion Summon, targets card on the field, sends it to graveyard. 2700, sends a card, and during the standby phase, any standby phase, target an Azamina or Sinful Spoils card in your graveyard, add it to your hand for free, just during the standby phase, any standby phase. So if you're in like a grind game, during your opponent's draw or standby phase, you Determination, you summon this guy, you send something on their board away, standby phase, you add something back, you can add back the Determination, and then you contribute this guy for Eradicator or Deck Dev, and it's so lit. It's such a you get so much resources, you get so much flowing, you get a bunch of you get to recur things. I absolutely love this this little package, the Determination and the Erisithon. Absolutely love these guys, absolute homies. They can pull up to the cookout. They can drink as much as they want. If they're broke, I'm paying for their wings. They're absolute homies. And you can summon this guy on your own turn, but unfortunately he doesn't really come up on your own turn. It's just too important to some of the other guys. But even if you do summon him on your own turn, then you can just pivot and summon Ilia Sylvia with the Determination. And this has another effect. You can banish it, target a Sinful Spoil spell trap in the graveyard, set it to your field. You can't activate it that turn, but you get a free card that you can then send away for whatever. So be a Bellstar or whatever you need. You can set Morian or Silvera, and then use them or send them away for Hollowed Azamina. It does a lot for the deck, and it's really cool. And I really enjoy this card. For the extra deck, our Super Poly targets, simple enough. My Dragon, Garura, our Azamina targets, Ilia Sylvia, Muarcielago, Erisithon. More fusion, more Super Poly targets. Technically, these two are Super Poly targets, but in a super hyper specific matchup, so it's not even worth mentioning. I mean, Dark Magician is a pretty it's like one of the most, it's like second most fan favorite deck from the anime, so first or second. I don't know between that and Blue Eyes, I don't know, because Blue Eyes is better, but Dark Magician has always been loved, and it's gotten so much cool news plays with this Dark Magician of Destruction. So yeah, whatever. But you do see it, but it's so specific. They gotta have Dark Magician on the field. They gotta have Super Poly. They gotta have some other stuff on the field. But I guess if you do get it off, that shit's probably tight as hell. But it is what it is. Typhon. Typhon's another really cool monster. It's a dark, perfect for all the viruses. Clears the board a bit. You detach, bounce something, attack over something else. Your opponent's turn, you just kind of have them chilling on the field. You're chilling, and you're attributing their stuff with viruses, and they get locked out of 3,000 attack or more monsters. Activating their effects, at least, could be neat. It certainly comes up. Certainly comes up. Pulls you out of. He's definitely pulled me out of hell a couple of times, and I love this guy for it. One Link Spider for our token plays. If we have 2 tokens, you can link one for Link Spider, and then link the token of the Link Spider for Beat Cop. assuming you have Lair of Darkness on the field. And if this is a link summon using 2 dark monsters with different names, you contribute a monster you control. But if Lair of Darkness is on the field, you contribute from either player's field. And then you can put a counter on a card you control. And if it would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can remove the counter instead. So you can tribute your opponent's monster and then put a counter on the Lair of Darkness. Now it's harder to out. You can tribute itself, put a counter on Lair of Darkness, summon Diabolos, and then tribute your opponent's monster. It's pretty neat. Beat Cop certainly comes up. Beat Cop's a cool card. I really like this card. It's like, it's so weird. It's like made specifically for this deck. And then IP and SP. You get 2 tokens. Drop 2 tokens into an IP, and then any other monster you can just link them off for SP Little Knight. Simple enough. Simple enough. Not much to really explain there. So yeah, that's the deck with the new additions. The new additions being Metamorphosis, the Gaze of Timaeus, Dark Magician of Destruction, and Dragoon package. Yeah, these cards are really fun. They've definitely added some they definitely added some more to the deck. They definitely these 2 definitely can be bricks because they immediately don't do anything, which is like which is rough because a lot of cards in this deck, a lot of combos in this deck are basically 2-card combos. You need the field spell to get the full value out of your stuff. You need a discard, technically a send for Diabellstar. Lilith doesn't do, like, one Lilith, normal summon Lilith, have no other cards in the hand or field, does virtually nothing. Lair of Darkness on its own does virtually nothing. Viruses on their own. Viruses without being able to summon anything is not, it just doesn't, it's like you just can't really do anything. So in a deck with so many 2-card combos, you need certain 2 cards to play. Cards that are reliant on you already having done certain things can be a little tricky, but they're pretty fun nonetheless. They're pretty interesting whenever they come up, and I've enjoyed my time with them for sure. I will mention these 2 cards. Dark the Dark Charmer always seems really cool in this deck. You can make you can link 2 tokens into Dark, attack into anything, crash, and then search for almost anything essentially. You can search for Lilith, you can search for Arma. That's basically it, yeah, because 15 or less. Yeah, 15 or less defense. You can only search for these 2, but that's so much. If you already have the field spell in the field, like just getting those 2 monsters for free. One of those 2 monsters for free. It means a lot. Contribute your opponent's monsters, get viruses going. Contribute your opponent's monsters, get like Magnemite, get like Diabolos, Diabellstar, whatever. So he's cool. It never really comes up. It doesn't come up as much as other things. And we have Selene, which is really good with the Dragoon stuff, especially with like a Charmer. So you can go like, you can link the Dragoon and any monster into Dark. If they're playing a Dark deck, you can summon something back, and then you can make Selene, assuming you're most likely going to have 3 spells in the field or grave. And then, because if you summon Dragoon, you have Gaze, you most likely have Lair of Darkness, you probably have like Super Poly or Hollow or Metamorphosis. You probably have some spell in the grave, maybe an extra Lair. Yeah, but you summon Selene, and then you can summon back Dragoon. And then you never have to worry about Gaze banishing the Dragoon. You just have him for free. It's not like, it just seems like super win more. You gotta have space for these 2, and you gotta like summon this, you gotta have the spells and everything, like, it's a bit much. It's a bit much. Because, like, if the Dragoon comes out, the game's not going to last up that much longer anyway. So it's like, I feel like having him for, like, potentially longer isn't going to do, like, a crazy amount for you. Another card. This card I cut because sometimes it comes up. Yeah, this guy. What did I spell wrong? Predaploid. Yeah, Trifo. Yeah, there's 3 dark monsters in the field. I cut this guy because I was like, comes up the least. But when he comes up, it's too meaningful. I'm not really sure what to cut to bring him back in, but he's definitely something to consider, like as a super poly target, because there's too many like super combo decks. Even just super polying for this guy alone is like, bro, you're clearing out like half the disruption, maybe. You know, they're still gonna have hand traps, they're still gonna have back row, and this guy's effect isn't like it's not super relevant on your turn. There's no like inherent summons on your turn, you know. So unfortunately, this guy's effect doesn't really come up. But just being able to clear 3 dark monsters uninteractable is really strong. It's like it's insanely plus. It's kind of big too. 33, no, 3,000. My bad. I thought it was 33. But yeah, even still, 3K is a lot. So definitely something worth fitting in if you can find the space. Maybe you cut Dragostapelia, but I can't see it. Like Dragostapelia is also really good in his own right. He's obviously better against a fusion deck, or if you have multiple super polys. But negate every turn, it's really damn good. Especially a negate and making something level 1, it's really, really good. Yeah, that's all the stuff I wanted to make note of. That's going to be it for this update. This is a deck list update. It's really fun. It's a really fun deck. I absolutely love coming back to Lair of Darkness whenever possible. Whenever there's new cool things to try out, I really like trying it, because this deck is like, this is the deck I played before Ashen came out. I played this deck the longest. I played this deck probably like thousands upon thousands of hours. I can't even remember how long I played. Like, I would just go for hours to playing this deck. And this is like when like Tenpai like first came out. This deck was really fun against Tenpai because you floodgated them. They couldn't respond to your super poly. They used to like reboot my viruses and stuff like that, and that would always suck. But like they once they summoned 2 monsters and you super poly them, they were like cooked. They couldn't like play. If you super polyed while Lair of Darkness is on the field, that is. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you made it this far, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys enjoy. I'm definitely gonna have some replays in the future. I have a ton of replays for this deck because I just couldn't stop playing it. I was playing it so much. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and take care.